There are two basic philosophies of life. The philosophy of the world is first the party, then the hangover. The philosophy of the Christian, the way of the Christian, is first the fast, then the feast. First the cross, and then the resurrection. And this is reflected in the biblical understanding of the day. The biblical understanding of the day. From a biblical perspective, the day begins with sunset and ends with the brightness of the day. In the biblical perspective, the day, with a capital D, never sees darkness. It begins with a night, but it ends with everlasting light. And so too the Christian goes through the dark night of this life. He carries his cross every day. He chooses the hard road that leads to life and leads to everlasting light. The worldly person, the atheistic person, the person who renounces God, this person tries to live this life as though it were one bright day that ends with darkness and everlasting night. And we see this again in Scripture, in Genesis, the creation of the world. In the creation account, it says, "Evening came and morning followed the first day." You see that? Evening comes, there's the night, there's the darkness. And then morning comes, light comes. And so too in the Catholic Church, when we celebrate a feast, when we celebrate Sunday, when does it begin? It doesn't begin with sunrise. It begins in the evening with sundown. And so, brothers and sisters, we need to accept the fact that yes, in this life we are passing through a desert, a valley of tears, a night, but we can already taste the glory that is to come, the light that is to come. We can already taste it. We can already see it. If we're mystics, we've seen the promised land and we move forward. Listen to this, Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2. "For the sake of the joy that lay before him, he endured the cross." This is speaking about Jesus, but it should be speaking about each one of us. For the sake of the joy that lays before us, we endure the cross. And so, brothers and sisters, choose the hard road that leads to life. And I'll tell you something, the reward of choosing to carry your cross, to living a life of sacrifice, of faithfulness to the Lord, the reward is not only in the next life, it's already in this life. And it comes with peace, with joy, with freedom, and with the presence of our loving God. Brothers and sisters, we are Christians. We are journeying towards the promised land, towards the day that will never end.